I love horsepower. We are back for the LS vs. Coyote engine shootout, but part 2. A couple years ago, we did a naturally aspirated build-off between an LS and a Coyote engine. The LS made 556 horsepower and the Coyote made 510. We kind of got knocked around a bit. I mean, you guys said some mean stuff, hurt my feelings. But we're trying to fix it for part 2. This time, both engines are getting $15,000 to be built, and they're also getting boost because that's the newest, coolest thing, right? Everybody wants to stuff boost into whatever engine they're building. Summit Racing is where we're getting all the prices for all the parts, okay? I have the rules right here, and I'm not gonna mess them up. We changed some stuff up, okay? And I hope that you guys are happy with it because we listened to you guys, we read your comments, and this is what we came up with. Both builds, $15,000. That includes the engine block, crankshaft, any parts the engine needs, right? Unusual machining comes out of the budget. That means any sleeving, like on the modular stuff, usually needs sleeves in those aluminum blocks, or CNC porting on the cylinder heads, that has to come out of the $15,000 budget, okay? Number 3, each engine is going to be built at the builder's facility. Both engines will be dynoed at West Tech here in California. Once the builders are finished with the engines, they're getting shipped back here, the builders are coming out, and we're gonna dyno them to see which engine makes more horsepower, okay? Next on the list, any choice of Procharger. They're also providing air-to-water intercoolers so that both engines are on the same platform, they're on the same level, there's no advantage either way. Also, both engines are running E85 fuel. It can make a bunch of power for not a lot of money. So that's the fuel we're gonna use to show you guys exactly how much power you can make with it. Holley EFI for both engines. That's right, there's gonna be a Dominator at West Tech on the dyno, and both builders are going to be tuning with that. It's a killer setup. I've had it on one of my cars and I love it. It's super simple and yet it's really advanced and you can get into the nitty gritty, get everything you need. Hydraulic roller. No solid roller stuff. We're not building race engines. Solid roller, that's high-end, full-on drag car stuff. We don't want to deal with that. Last but not least, 12 ribs maximum on the supercharger drive, okay? On the belt, no cog belts. Just like I said, we don't want to build race engines. We want to build engines you can race, but engines you can also drive down the street. And that does it for the rules. We talked about the rules, now let's talk about the points. Before we just did peak power, okay? We did peak power, whichever engine made the most horsepower naturally aspirated won the competition. So we changed the competition this time. Number 1, the engine that makes the most power and most torque gets 4 points, okay? So we're gonna combine the horsepower number and the torque number together, and whichever one has the highest number gets 4 points. Second, the engine that makes the most average power is gonna be awarded 3 points, okay? That means we're going to find the peak horsepower number on the dyno chart, follow it back 3,000 RPMs, and the engine that has the most average power in that range is gonna get 3 points. And finally, whichever engine makes the most horsepower per cubic inch wins 2 points. So you Mustang guys that, oh, it made more horsepower per cubic inch. Well, guess what? We're gonna cover that. We got points for it. And I'm gonna kick that away because I don't wanna see it. We searched high and low and we wanted the best builders in the biz, all right? Number 1, building the LS. Brian Nealon from LME in Texas. They are very, very, very well known in the industry for building insanely high horsepower, world's fastest LS powered cars, okay? These guys do not screw around and Brian knows his stuff. And they're gonna build the LS engine. After that, we are going to have Tim Eichhorn and MPR out of Florida building the Coyote for us. It's gonna make a bunch of power. They're really well known in the NMR race circuit and they've won a lot of races with really fast Coyote modular engines, okay? These guys know exactly what they're doing. It's gonna be a really awesome competition head to head, and that's exactly what we want to see. But for now, I mean, that's pretty much it. We've talked about everything. If there's anything you guys have questions about, make sure to comment below. If you don't think those rules are right, if you don't think that the builders are right, let us know. But I mean, they're pretty well known and they're probably not gonna be very happy if you're talking crap on them, okay? Next time on the LS vs. Coyote engine shootout part 2, we're gonna head over to LME in Texas and see exactly what parts were picked for the LS and why, and see how much power they think they're gonna make on the LS engine. But for now, we'll see you there. Next time on the LS vs Coyote engine shootout, we're flying to LME to check out the LS build and see what parts and what strategy Brian Nealon and his team are putting together to try and make the most horsepower.